Welcome back to the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. We are recording on a Sunday for the first time ever because we are switching to posting the pod on Mondays, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got a doozy for you today. We're talking about Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. It's not And the Lost Crown. I don't know why
It's The Lost Crown.
Every single time I want to say And the Lost Crown, but it's Prince of Persia,
The Lost Crown.
The Lost Crown. Yeah. We're talking about a new hot release, the hottest release of 2024. Very exciting. First time getting an early code. Thank you so much, Ubisoft, for providing that for us. We're stoked to be able to talk about it early here today and kind of give you guys some insight into the game before you potentially buy it. But we're still coming at you with our hot take to kick it off. We're doing a draft at the end. You got a fun one. Nintendo Switch games, sure to be very contentious in the comments on the TikTok and on the YouTube. But we're super stoked to be here today. A lot of moving parts. Just give you the quick rigmarole. We stream Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. We got some fun games going right now. I'm playing through all the Sly Cooper games, having a blast, getting my butt kicked by a croc who makes me do a rhythm game.
Just owning you.
Just owning me.
A lot of people were like, Nick, you need to get in there. We know you play drums. We know you got a good
See,
beat.
I'm good at rhythm games.
I know.
It's just there's so many distractions going on around you while you're playing that. When you just have to really lock in or whatever. And like I was crushing it. And that one moment when our friend Jason called me when I was at the very end, legendary. There was a lot of channel points on the line. He calls me. I look down. I look back and miss the prompt.
Oh, it's so good.
Give up a lot of dough to some people who bet against me on the channel. So I'm playing Sly Cooper. We were all on the couch watching Brady play Doom 2016 on Mondays, which is a lot of fun.
Yep.
And Nick is playing Final Fantasy 9 for the first time. How are you liking it so far?
Well, do we want to talk about that now, or do you want to finish the rigmarole? And then I want to give a little bit of impressions before we get into
Final Fantasy 9?
Yeah.
Okay. And then... so this is moving to Monday, and we're getting this up on Spotify at first from here on before the RSS feed. We're getting this up on Spotify.
So just a quick update there. Basically, I used a service before that I'm going to use again to get the pod up on Spotify. I'll be doing that for the next couple of weeks as we go and transition to everything and get that all set up. We wanted to hit that January date. Like we said January for a long time. The Discord's been going great. You guys have been terrific in it. And now that next rollout phase is getting these pods up on podcast services. Spotify's going to be the first one. The other ones might take a little bit more time. Once again, this is a learning process, so it's going to take a little bit of learning on my end and the back end to figure out, but it should be up on Spotify. This podcast will go up on Spotify eventually, but it might not go up day and date. So it's going to take a moment, but we will get this on Spotify. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, welcome.
Thank you so much for your support over there. And then new TikToks every day. We're approaching the end of the top 50s. We're recording a couple of those today. Very exciting.
I'm going to be sad when it's over.
It's been a journey, dude.
Yeah.
I shouted out in the Discord I wanted to see what people had to say for what they were hoping would show up with what's left, and some people hit some right on the head, for sure. But the usual suspects are going to be at the top here, but a lot of stuff is going to be left off.
I would not say that. I mean, the usual suspects, when I think of a top 50 list, if you were to just say broad strokes, what's going to be on there? Big swingers.
No The Witcher 3.
I would say, like, FF7 is one of those games that's, like, timeless.
FF7 is
I would say
not...
Ocarina of Time is what has a strong case to be that number one. I would say Super Mario World 3 has a chance to be that number one in the broad strokes. Of course, and then there's things like the GQ list that came out last year that had Breath of the Wild 1 and The Last of Us at number 2 and Tetris 3, I believe. Yeah. So, like, there's those in my mind are some heavy hitters. I'm excited for people to see what's your number one. It's gonna
fascinating.
Be a lot of fun.
It is going to be fascinating. I'm going to have to write the best script of my entire life for number one, I think. Yeah. I'm going to put a lot of effort into that.
I think 1 and 2. I think 2, the reception on 1 will also depend on how good of a script you write for 2 and 3 and 4. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great. And I think I'm going to really kind of hammer the top 10 home as best as I can. There is one more game on here that I think is going to be like, really? And that's it.
I think I know it.
Yeah, we'll
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about it after, but that's a little tease for everybody. But I would argue that the thing is with everything on the top 50, I can make a legitimate argument for why it is where it is. I think.
Every game, in my opinion, I completely agree with you. I this was one of those things that like I'm a control freak when it comes to the channel, like what gets posted, what's happening, what our day to day looks like, on the content aspect of it. Like, what's our next step? I'm the one that does our scheduling and does the content thermometer, and top 50. You're like this. We're gonna do this. You're gonna edit 2 videos a week, and like we're gonna.
The top 50 was your idea.
Yeah, but I was like, you should do this. Like,
Yeah.
this is like, you're a terrific writer. This is gonna let you be awesome and like display your gaming knowledge in a terrific way. And the only one that I'm like, I love that editing the video and everything because I think it's a great video, and I think that the script and the argument you make is great. Final Fantasy 13, I think, is the only one that's like completely undeserving to be on the list.
It's so crazy to me.
It's the only one that I'm like, that just should not be there.
It has the
It's
best
one of those
combat.
things
It
is
has
not like
one
the
of
other.
the best stories in the series.
You said best combat? Have you played Final Fantasy 16, Connor?
Yeah, it's way better combat than
Oh
Final Fantasy
my
16.
God,
like,
dude, it's DMC, baby. You can't
it's
get better than
different
that.
strokes or
Yeah.
whatever. You're talking turn-based or action time battle and full-time, real-time combat. But I would take 13 over 16 every day of the week.
Oh my God.
I take 13 over 9 if I'm going on pure preference.
I know, which
but
is wild.
But 9 is the best. But the best thing about the top 50s, I was talking to my wife about this, is she was reading the comments. I love it every single time. The comments are, "This is way too high. This is way too low."
Every
like
time.
back to back,
Yep.
almost all the comments.
Every
Like
time.
they're just like you can't please anybody.
I think The Last of Us is the prime example of it. But they're like,
you can't imagine 15 or 14 games better than The Last of Us. You
I
can't
can't.
wrap your head around that.
Well, correction.
Like,
I know your list, and I'm like, once again, I understand your take. Like, where it's
Right.
like, I respect that you have that at 15.
this was my favorite game of all time for a long time.
Yeah, for me, it's my favorite game of all time. For Brady, it's my favorite game of all time. I'm wearing a shirt, right? Like, I love this game.
It's excellent. Like everything in the top 50 is an excellent video game, I would say.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked about this, and I'm very curious to see where you would have landed this. Alan Wake 2, your game of the year last year. Obviously, you made the list. Would it crack that top 50? Because you have Final Fantasy 16 at 49, so you have it higher.
Yeah.
But where do you think that would be swimming at? 40s, 30s, 20s?
See, it's one of those things that, like, for my personal opinion list, like for the game of the year last year, like, there's some objective flaws when it comes to like combat in Alan Wake 2 that I think holds it back in a lot of ways. That it could potentially not be in a top 50, but I think it would, and I think it would probably be. I'm trying to think, like, do I like it more than like Catherine, which is like in the 30s or like the mid 20s? I think so. Yeah, probably. Like stuff like that, like where it's like those kind of games, like that area probably.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just think of anything else that's kind of towards the middle of the list that I think it would probably be up there with that.
Totally. Yeah.
But like that's the thing is like I think in the future we might just do like the greatest games of all time
series.
and we have this or whatever. Like I just want to talk about gush about a game.
I mean, I would also love to get in on some of those where it's like not like fully fledged writing. That's we get asked all the time. Nick, when are you doing your top 50? Never will happen. It just won't happen for a multitude of reasons. The number one being I have no interest of sitting down and writing 500 to 1,000 words on games every week. That's not what I like to do. My favorite piece of content that we do every single week is the podcast. Like, that is what, in my opinion, I was put on the planet to do, is just fucking talk. Like, I've been yapping for years at this point. And so I enjoy doing this in discussing games. I don't enjoy trying to formulate my thoughts in a written form and actually articulate in a certain amount of words where I think you do so very eloquently that I cannot do. And so, but if you were asking me to be like, Nick, gush about Rock Band or Hi-Fi Rush for an hour or 30 minutes or in a short form 7-minute TikTok, I would love to do that. But like, I would never want to write. Even like discussing the drafts that we do, Connor's like, I would say I write down a list for the drafts 3 out of 4 times.
It's so crazy to me.
But that 1 out of 4
prep
times.
work is so
The 1 out of 4
stressful as a
times.
Virgo.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I don't know how you do this, dude.
It's the Austin Powers. I also like to live dangerously.
Yeah.
Like I like to live like by the seat of my pants at sometimes. And the only time it's been me in the ass was not drafting Pokemon in the Nintendo draft. I can fully admit that I should have drafted that. I would have preferred drafting that. Other than that, that's never really been.
You would have saved us a big headache.
Oh my gosh, people
love their Pokemans.
I mean, I reacted to the past 3, I believe, Pokemon Day presents. Like I wake up at 6 a.m. to look at Pokemon news with the rest of the world. And it's not just because of content creation purposes. It's because I want to get hyped about Pokemon.
Right.
And so I believe that they can turn it around in a way that like makes sense. I want the love child of Legends and Scarlet and Violet on the next Switch to be open world-esque with Pokemon. Excuse me, geez, that was flying. With Pokemon and be awesome. Be super cool, and it can be cool. Like and if it runs well, Scarlet and Violet just didn't run well enough. Arceus didn't have the full fledged just like gameplay that it needed to be a terrific Pokemon game with gyms and everything.
Give me voice acting in Pokemon. What are we doing, Nintendo? I don't know why we can't get voice acting in Pokemon. It would bring the series up like a whole level for me for some reason. My stupid dumb brain, like I'm already like kind of disenchanted by Pokemon, that like I need a good story with characters and voice acting and like a little bit of more of a production value to really draw me in at this point, and they just refuse to do it. They have the money to do it.
Yeah.
Just pay voice actors, please. I don't understand.
You want to rip some hot takes? Oh, first I wanted to discuss FF9 a little bit. This might be twofold. One, I'm having a great time with it. The streams have been terrific. We say that every podcast. The numbers of the podcasts, the TikToks, and most importantly right now, the streams have been unfreaking believable. We really can't believe the Twitch numbers of like going from like, dude, we'll never forget being like, we had 3 people chatting with us like 4 months ago, being like, this is awesome.
Yeah, we were just stoked to have anybody watching us. That wasn't ourselves.
Yeah, and now we have like multiple people helping me through battles, being like, what the hell do I do? And like people being awesome. And so that's been a blast because Final Fantasy 7, and I assume 8 is the same case, and 9, I would be in shambles if I didn't have a guide in front of me or if I didn't have a Twitch chat helping me through certain things. Right. With that being said, I'm having a great time. Mm-hmm. This game's rad. And I think that you said it very well in your top 50, that one of the best, my favorite edits processes that I got to do was for that video. And with that process being like, oh, the music's really good. And you just being like, yeah, it's just a tale of mages and heroes and like, princesses. Like it's just like high fantasy in a really cool, understandable, sustainable way that like I didn't really know I needed in my life, because I'm not a huge...
very cozy.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fantasy person when I really think about it. I'm not a Lord of the Rings dude. Like, I've seen the movies. They're good. They're not like something that blew my hair back when I first watched it. I haven't watched this movie though in like 7 or 8 years.
Watching them for the first time right now.
I know. I was trying to say, watching them for the first time, it's been like a 3-month process to get through too. Are you watching director's cuts?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why it's taking so long. It's like you have to really like kind of be able to
settle
sit
down,
in,
and cozy up,
like carve out the time to do it. And we're busy, like we're really fucking busy.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm having a great time. I want to shout out Matt for being there for not me just beating FF7, but coming in and hanging out, because FF9, one of his favorite games of all time. That's been a treat to have someone that I consider a close friend hanging out watching me play a fucking video game. But yeah, it's like,
have you gotten to Vivi's backstory yet at all?
No, not really.
Yeah, I think you're getting close.
Yeah.
You're in like a town.
Right? I'm through the town. I went through like the maze under it. Okay. Like the underground. Oh, no, yes, I've seen. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, what am I? Like, who am I as a person?
Yeah.
Vivi's one of my like favorite characters in video games already. Like, I love a meek hero. I love someone that thinks that they can't do something and then they do it. Like, that is the shit that gets me crying in like really movies and in mediums. And so yeah, I'm stoked to play this game. We have another month and a half. I need to like legitimately. We were talking before this. I'm taking a trip right before we do our Final Fantasy VII remake subathon, and thank God, because I need a weekend to clear my mind from Final Fantasy, dude. Like to go from FF7 to FF9 to FF7 remake in a weekend into FF7 Rebirth is going to be a lot, and so I'm stoked. I'm enjoying my time with it though immensely. Like I'm more eager to get to these Twitch streams than I have been for previous games. But I love streaming in general. But like, man, oh man, like,
could you see yourself liking this more than FF7 original?
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, okay,
it's
the
close.
way you're talking about it right
it's
now,
close, but
it feels more glowing.
So it's the characters. Like for me right now, like it's like I like VB. Like
Steiner's great.
I don't really have a love
Dagger's
for Steiner.
Great.
I don't really love a love for Dagger yet. But
Stain's
like,
interesting.
but for me, like immediately getting in on Aerith and like and the music
Barrett.
and the world and Barrett's backstory and Cloud and the revelations that you have with him as a character. Dude, a lot of people got at me for being like, Cloud, Soldier, first class. And they're like, do. And I was like, I'm not trying to be like saying certain things. Oh my gosh.
I guess I should probably talk about Sly Cooper just briefly here.
Yeah.
Like, they don't make games like this anymore. It's just cozy and comforting and challenging enough to keep you like kind of on your toes and keeps throwing new little aspects at you. But like, it knows exactly what it wants to be. It delivers on those goods and just keeps you moving from point A to point B like really kind of seamlessly. Like it's 5 main bosses. You have your areas, you have your levels in those areas. The platforming's tight, feels really good. The combat isn't super complex by any means, but like it's just really fucking fun.
Yeah.
Like I'm having a great time going from Armored Core, which was great but intense, to this, which I was like, oh, this is just gonna be kind of like real easy, like kind of breezy, and it's hard in some aspects.
PS2
platforming. But like it's still just really kind of a breath of fresh air. I haven't played a game like this in a really long time. I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited to play all 3 of them.
Yeah, you're gonna have a great time. There's one other thing that I want to mention on the pod, which is we discuss all the time our love of Valorant. Like that is our forever game. Mm-hmm. And something that I like get lost in the like our own bubble is like we have like our group of guys that we play with. Like we have like 7, 8, 9, 10 guys that like all filter in and out. I got the opportunity to play on stream with Snowbike Mike and Cortez. I was telling you a bit about before the stream. But playing with a different group, a game like that, you remember like, oh, we're nuts. Like we're insane people. Yeah. Like I like had to hold back certain like isms, like being like someone's like, hey, can you buy this for me? And I was about to say like bark for it because I'm like, I can't say that on someone else's stream. Yeah. Like it's a lot of fun though, and that was a great time to like get to hop into a game that like with like normal people. I'm
let me hear a quick meow before I buy you this Phantom. That's what we do. Just guys being dudes. You know?
Like so it was a blast. We'll get into the shenanigans after we give our TikTok review or breakout for it of like what reviewing this game was like, because I think that not only is it fun insider baseball, but like man oh man have the past few days been a trip. So
it wasn't that bad for me, honestly. I honestly felt fine.
It wasn't that bad for me. I'm a degenerate. Like
Well, no, you also like suck.
We'll get into it.
I'm like shocked by how long it took you.
Oh, right. Ready?
Hot takes first.
Oh my god, we have hot takes first. My hot takes are very simple. I need to do this in case it gets broken out. We haven't broken out a fucking hot take in a while. My hot take for this week is rhythm games are okay to be dead.
No.
Let me break it down for
you.
Let me break it down for you. I am okay with never having another rhythm game for the rest of my life, with the aspect of one day I hope that we get a remastered version of Rock Band 4, which is just the ultimate Rock Band. You can go and buy games left and right for $2.
Songs left and right?
What did I say?
Games.
Oh yeah, you can buy songs left and right. It's for $2 compared to what they're charging over at Fortnite, which is $5 a song.
That's blasphemy.
Is highway robbery.
Crazy.
I mean, I love Bad Romance as much as the next guy. It's in my top 50 songs of all time. I'd rather punch myself in the face than spend $5 on it. Anyways, I am okay with these staying in the past because as someone that picks up my axe every once in a while, I would say about once or twice a week, I pick up my Rock Band guitar, go in, and play 3 songs, put it away, and I am so happy with that gaming experience. We don't need these new games to come out. Honestly, this might be a little curmudgeon-y, but we don't get a ton of great new rock bangers every year in the way that I feel like we have, especially when it comes to the mainstream music that was doing so successfully. We have a great track list already on Rock Band 4 and then Rock Band 3, 2, 1, and then all the different Guitar Hero iterations. It's okay to let the good things die. It's okay to let this just settle. Let these studios make other games, and please don't charge me $5 anymore.
Let's just repopularize the stuff we already have. Is my argument.
Well, we do that though.
Yeah, you and I do that, but nobody else does it. Very few.
Well, here's the thing though. Are we
getting nostalgic for it at this point? Are people nostalgic for Rock Band?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
2023 started out with me having one of the worst times of my life, and me and a bunch of friends all agreed that Rock Band made our year fantastic last year because we were just able to always at the end of the day, hey, let's have a few drinks, let's come over, let's hang out, let's order some za, and let's play a few tunes. And when you and the band are cooking, you're having a great time. As someone that loves music as much as we do, of course everyone loves music, I'm not trying to gatekeep music, but as someone that enjoys music and playing music, and I play guitar and drums, to just have that creative outlet's terrific. We don't need a new thing. What would be nice is for Harmonix to come out of retirement one time and just remake a shit ton of drums. Just remake the drums. They're so difficult to buy.
How expensive are they right now? They're $400.
They're $200 something. I got mine for I bought the kit and then the pedal separately.
I think they're going up.
Yeah, every single day they're going up.
Because I think also with the Fortnite Rock Band thing, people are just wanting to just get the actual Rock Band experience.
Yeah. And so it's I spent $120 total on my kit, and then guitar and mic with you was $130. So then I spent $70 on PS3 guitar. So all in, it was only $400. But
one of the guitars is out of commission.
Oh, one of the guitars can't work because I lost the dongle during my move. But terrific game. This isn't I dislike rhythm games. This is I just am ready for them to die.
All right. My hot take. Ready? My hot take for this week: Animal Crossing should just be a platform. There should just be Animal Crossing, the game, and it should continuously be updated. It is blasphemous that Animal Crossing New Horizons was as popular as it was. They updated it one time with one major piece of content. Well, I guess one major piece of content, a few smaller pieces of content before that. And then we're just peace out, we're out, or whatever. I live with somebody who is obsessed with Animal Crossing and played it every day for 3 years straight, enjoyed the new content, and the fact that I was just basically ripped away from them for the next 3, 4, 5 years until the next one comes out is just a shame. They should just be building and building and building on Animal Crossing, because that's all it's going to be in the future, is that building. And if they want to make money, and they could charge for DLC $30 every single time if they wanted to, every 2 years, but instead they're just kind of ripping it away from their fans. That's what I want from Animal Crossing in the
future.
Here's
my question to you, though, and it comes back to the reason that Smash Ultimate doesn't do something similar.
It sucks. I think everybody should do that.
The best part of these Nintendo games is day one.
Yeah,
it is opening it up. It's unlocking the characters. It's starting building your life on on this island. That is the best part, and getting that experience is best, in my opinion, in that 3-year wave, 4-year wave.
But you get that again with a meaty piece of DLC.
But are you re-rolling your
I'm not saying
stuff?
You're re-rolling, but
because that's the best part of it.
I guess that is kind of fair, but you can still re-roll if you wanted to.
Okay.
But I think that for the fans, for the casuals, for the people who are just picking it up day one and then playing it for a few months and then falling off, that's great for them or whatever. That's exciting for them. But for the people who this is their game, like my wife, it's I really wish they had stuff continuously coming out for it. It makes so much sense to me that but money, once again, Nintendo can double dip and just keep like
They're going to always
$70,
Like,
rather than $30 over 2 years. They're doing $70. Like
they're just
doing that big
printing
hit.
money,
Yeah.
especially Animal Crossing,
especially
with
with
the
how
pandemic.
big, especially with how big New Horizons was.
Right,
That's my hot take. Yes, so we are going to film a review now for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. We're gonna do like a quick, spoiler-free overall thoughts that is going to be broken out into TikTok, and then we're going to kind of get into the weeds a little bit more. Still spoiler free. Everything's going to be spoiler free as possible. So,
all right, I'm going to intro it. Oh, this is fun, dude.
Yeah.
We live a cool life.
Yeah.
All right, Connor, what is your spoiler free impressions of Prince of Persia and the Lost Crown? You've beaten it.
Okay, do you want to say review?
Oh, yeah.
You said impressions.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Once again, if you're seeing the podcast, this is just you get
this is how it goes.
This is how we do it.
Yeah.
Connor, what is your spoiler-free review of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and what would you give it on the Co-op 64 scale?
Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is a great video game, and I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. I loved my time with this game. From a visual perspective, this game is gorgeous. The backgrounds are amazing. The character designs, the enemy variety all look awesome. I loved just the visual feast that I was seeing on the screen was top notch, especially for a 2.5D platformer, which usually is a turnoff for me. It looked amazing. When it comes to the combat, I thought it was really punchy when it came to the parrying. Felt fantastic and always enticed me to kind of be close and get ready for those parries and stay on the offensive. But also the dodge was really satisfying as well, getting behind enemies, dodging those unblockable attacks and slashing away and then getting in and getting out, which kind of ties into the boss fights, which in this game, the boss fights are amazing. Super satisfying, the right level of difficulty, very varied in the visuals as well as the what is asking of you in the combat. Using the new tools that you're getting throughout this Metroidvania experience in those boss battles is super satisfying, and figuring out like what works and what doesn't, and what you need to use in this moment and what you don't need to use in this moment really always kept me satisfied and going on to the next thing. So from that perspective, when it comes to the combat, I think it's almost immaculate.
Yeah.
Then for the Metroidvania aspects, when it comes to platforming and getting from point A to point B and exploring the map, I thought that the things that this game does are pretty unoriginal. It takes a lot of ideas from a lot of other places, and that's not a knock because it does all of those things really, really well. There's a little bit of Hollow Knight in here, a little bit of Celeste in here when it comes to the platforming, but it does all of those things really top notch, really a great package when it comes to that Metroidvania experience. If you are on the hook for Hollow Knight Silksong right now and need that Metroidvania fix, this is the game for you, because it scratched that itch for me and caught me completely off guard. I was excited for this game when we first saw it. I know that a lot of people wanted a 3D Prince of Persia game, but this is a damn good experience, and if you want that Prince of Persia fix, it's here for you. Quick negatives real fast, though. The story, kind of throwaway for me. I didn't really connect with the characters or in the overall arching story. It was just kind of set dressing for the most part, getting from point A to point B. It was fine. It was okay. And then, little nitpick, the upgrade system in this game when it comes to like upgrading your swords and your bow and making those more powerful. I would upgrade and not really feel like I was more powerful. Like I knew that I was technically, but I never felt like I was like, oh yeah, like I can feel myself slashing harder, because a lot of the times you're just kind of spamming away with square and just kind of getting in and getting slicing and dicing the guys up, but it never felt like I was like, oh, I'm doing this faster or I'm getting this new move. That really comes from the tools that are added in the Metroidvania aspects rather than like in the combat, if that makes sense. So 8.5, loved it. Took me about 18-ish, 20 hours or so. Mileage may vary. I think this game is pretty difficult. Or decently difficult. It took me a while on some of these bosses to complete the bosses, but I had a really great time with it anyways. We played it over the course of 3 days to get this review out in a timely fashion.
4 days. 4 days for me, at
for
least.
you, it was 3 days for me, and I blitzed through it and never really tired. I was always excited to pick it back up and jump in. So I love this game. I think that if I could like rank it from last year in my top 10, it would be like towards the middle of 2023.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
it's great.
All right.
What is your review, Nick, for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown?
For me, the first, like, the headline of this game is Ubisoft is back in a major way, and they did exactly what you and I have been asking for years. Take known IP, make cool things. And that's exactly what Ubisoft did. They took the Prince of Persia IP and they were like, what if we just make one of the dopest Metroidvania experiences of all time? My score is also an 8.5. I was sitting around that 8.5-ish, and the boss fights in this game were the thing that took me to that 8.5 level. Like you said, the story didn't really connect with it. That's the only reason it's not a 9+,
Right.
is that story.
Same with me, yeah.
Like, there's the emotional moments, they're there, they just didn't hit.
I didn't care about the characters as
Totally.
much as I wish I did.
Yeah, and so it's a terrific game. The boss fights are some of the best in the biz. A $50 package for this game is one hell of a price tag. And
100%.
the fact that this game most likely will go on sale soon enough, and you're able to get this for $30. We played it on PS5, but to have this game on your Switch for like $30 in the future, to have it for $50 now is a steal in my mind already. But if it does go on sale, huge steal. This game is terrific. I cannot believe that Ubisoft made something that is this stylish, this colorful, and this badass. You feel badass as the main character Sargon, and it's just a terrific game. I loved my experience with it. And yeah, 8.5 on our scale.
Fantastic.
All right.
I went deep in my Duffy there. I apologize.
I was like, there was a moment where I was like, okay, like I'm going to talk about the story a little bit. That's why I said, oh, okay, Connor's talking about that. I'll just got to give my headlines. And my one,
do
two,
we want to
three
do
punch.
favorite and least favorite real fast? Yeah, let's do it real fast.
Connor, what is your favorite part about Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown?
My favorite thing is surprising to me because, like I said in the first part of this review, I usually hate 2.5D art styles and perspective, and I think they crushed it here. I think when it comes to the visual experience, when it comes to the backgrounds, when it comes to the enemy types, that 2.5D art style is my favorite aspect. It looks amazing, and at 120 FPS on PS5, it runs amazing too. It was awesome. So that's my favorite part. What about you, Nick? What's your favorite thing about Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown?
My favorite part is the upgrade system and becoming more powerful. This game takes you at a pace that is perfect. Literally, it's like, oh man, I'm like starting to run out of like what I want from this game or what mechanic I need, and then boom, it comes in with a new mechanic. You're like, this is awesome. And right as you're like, okay, I got all I wanted out of this, boom, there's a new mechanic, and it just keeps hooking you in for your entire playtime. It's terrific, and yeah, it's my favorite part of the game.
Yeah, the Metroidvania mechanics are awesome.
Yeah.
Like, every single time I was like, I really hope they add this. I really hope they add this to traverse. I was like, oh, there it is, baby. There it is.
It's so good.
Can we talk about some of those?
No,
Okay.
I think to keep it as surface level as possible and not obvious. I don't want to, like, it's a spoiler-free review. We're trying our best to not spoil. Now we will get into our deep thoughts for the podcast. But yeah, dude,
I feel like we
good
got
job.
a lot of that, yeah.
First and foremost, what a trip this has been.
Yeah.
Give a little insider baseball. We got accepted into the Ubisoft Creator Program like a few days before. We're like already discussing, okay, we're going to pick it up on Monday for the early access.
I think we got it on the 9th.
We got it on Wednesday. I don't know what day that is.
That sounds like the 9th to me off the top of my dome.
This time has been a
We got the code or into the program?
We got into the program on Monday. So we got in the 8th, and we got the game on the 10th.
Yes.
And so it was we legitimately like, okay, we're in the program, but codes are definitely already out there. We knew what the review embargo date was, which
Reviews went up on
Thursday, the 11th. And so we were just like, all right, like, we're going to miss the embargo, but we need to get the review up before it gets released to public, because we know that there's a huge audience that wants to hear our takes on some of these new releases. And, like, shout out Ubisoft for getting like to be like the turnaround of like, hey, you're accepting this program and we know you want this code and we're gonna give it to you guys was so dope of them to like just still ensure the fact that we got to play this game for review. And then the journey began. So Wednesday, I'm locked in. Connor's streaming. I am literally like watching him stream, playing on my monitor this game, like just like tucking in 5 hours. And then Thursday, busier day. I had to do certain things, then I had to stream at night, and so I was like, okay, like I got like an hour in Thursday. Friday, go to the grocery store, get back, make some dope wings, get into the game around 8 p.m. and I'm only 6 hours in. It took me 24 hours to beat this game. I'm 6 hours into this experience.
It took you 24 hours?
24 hours was my end clock time.
Holy crap.
It is.
You want to tell why?
Oh, I suck at this game. Yeah. I'm so bad at this game.
Nick died a million times to a lot of bosses.
Yeah.
Like he'd be like, I got to this boss and I'd be like, sweet. I was ahead of him. So he had a 5 hour, 6 hour head start on me, and I still ended up slapping him. Yeah, because I beat it last night and you beat it this morning.
Yeah, and so
which by this morning I mean like 2 hours ago.
So literally, this is when all of a sudden my life just became this game. This is all I did for. Basically, if I was not asleep, and then I'll get to the story, but I was playing this game. So I go, I'm ripping through this game, I'm having a great time. Friday, go from 8 p.m. till 4 a.m. Then I wake up at noon or 1, get going around 2:30 and play from 2:30 until midnight. And then midnight, I get the call to play Valorant with Snowbike Mike and Andy Cortez from Kinda Funny. And I'm like, I'm not going to not do that. Like, I got to do that. That's too much fun to give up. If you guys know me, gaming is all about having fun. Honestly, too, the moment of, like, I just need to get away from this boss for a bit. Like, I just need to put this game
I felt
down.
that at certain points, whatever. Like, where I was like, I was getting close or just needed to, like, kind of get away from it.
My hands were cramping because I was playing, I played 10 hours straight. And I was like, this is not what I want to do. Go, click some heads, have a great time, hop back on around 3 a.m., play for another hour, and I'm like, okay, you're getting smoked by this boss, you're beating this in the morning, and then woke up, played a couple more hours, and got her done. But, like, this was one of the most strenuous gaming experiences of all time, and the thing that I want to go, the reason I say all that, it was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had.
I had a blast the whole time.
The entire time, which I did not, like, we've had to bust our ass for some reviews, and, like, I'll even go back to Spider-Man. Spider-Man was, like, stressful to review. To be like, okay, like, take your notes. Like, make sure to have, like, an idea of, like, what you want to say during your review. And your opinion's changing, but, like, do you want to go with the new opinion or the previous opinion? This game kicked so much ass the entire time that I was like, you're just enjoying this. Like, I texted you after the first time, like, I'm around 8, and I wanted to text Connor because the first night before review embargoes got lifted, because we knew we'd see Metacritic, we knew we'd see certain things that, like, just would give us some idea of, like, the general consensus of what this game is before we got to review it. So I threw out, like, 8, and then this game just continued to kick so much ass. I cannot believe that this game is $50. Yeah. Like, I cannot freaking believe it.
Yeah, because when we heard that they were doing this and what we had seen before, and Nick and I were like, 10 hours probably seems like about right for what it looks like. And then we heard 20-ish hours or 25 hours, and we're like, really? I was like, that seems like it's going to overstay its welcome. And it did not.
It totally did.
It, like, totally didn't. Like, I thought it breezed by. I thought I had so much fun going from point A to point B. And, like, the map is all really well thought out and designed. Very
so well.
Very, very good when it comes to, like, your checkpoints. Like, there are these trees that you go to like, heal up, and it respawns all the enemies on the map, kind of like Dark Souls or whatever. Is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown of Dark Souls? Is it a Souls game?
Is it a Soulsborne?
If Hollow Knight counts, maybe. Because in a lot of ways, it does feel that challenging for each boss fight. Let's jump into the boss fights real fast and kind of just give our overall view of the boss fights. I think the boss fights in this game are, like, some of the best boss fights I've ever played in any game. Like, I had so much fun where I would go into the fight, I would get my teeth kicked in. They all have, like, 2 or 3 phases, some more than that, where you're just, like, you're learning. You know you're not going to get past the first part of their health, but you're just learning, like, their patterns and everything, like you do in many Metroidvanias. And like, you're like, okay, I parry here, I have to dodge here, I have to jump here, I have to use this power here. And, like, that flow state, when it all starts to click in and you're just, like, you're getting your teeth kicked in for the first half of the boss, and then you're learning, and then you can do the first half, and then you get to the second half and you're learning a little bit more. But then like by the time I was getting the second half every single time, I was doing that first half in some of these boss fights perfectly. Like I was not even getting touched, and I was like, that was kicking my ass like 20 minutes ago, and now I mastered this. The way it feels so good.
There was moments where there was certain boss fights that I was like, if you know that you need to learn this part perfect because you know what's coming is going to be way more difficult, and then you get it perfect, and then if it's a 3-phase boss fight, it's like, okay, now I need to like have like 75% health for like the second part, because by the end of it I'm going to get smoked. And like it is the way this game takes difficulty, and as someone that, like Connor said, I was bad at this video game. Like objectively, I was not great at this game. I loved every second of getting my ass beat. Like
it's very fair.
Yes,
it's extremely fair. You know that you fucked up or whatever, and like you the only like struggle for me was sometimes I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong quickly, and eventually it would click in. And it's so funny. That's another thing with the review process is like, I've never not been able to look something up if I'm like totally stuck. Like if you're just stuck, you're just like, well, there's no information online. This game's not out yet.
To go from like our lives of just like consistently every single time we would play a video game, if you get stuck, you have the internet. Here's a really fucking difficult game, and you just gotta rip it. You just gotta learn it. You just gotta figure it out.
Which is awesome. Which is very rewarding.
So rewarding.
Which goes to like kind of show like how well this game is thought out when it comes to its directions. Like it is confusing with like the map and like in all the different aspects, but like I was never like I was like, I think I need to go over here, and then I would run into a wall, and then I'd be like, I gotta go back around and go up this way or whatever, and that probably works.
So smart. This game's map design is so freaking smart, where like every single time I was like, oh, I'm gonna try to cheese it and go this way, and then it's like, well, you can't go this way, you actually are supposed to go this way. And I'm like, I know that I was supposed to go that way. Right. I was trying to like be a little sneak, but no, the map forces you to go in directions that the game wants you to go. And as someone that like, this game is difficult. It's a Metroidvania. You don't know exactly where you need to be going at all times. To understand and be like, no, this makes sense. This is fair. I love every aspect of it. Jeez Louise. Like, this is a early front runner for
this will be in my top 10 for
100%.
Sure, like 100%, unless this year like is like another 2023, but I can't imagine this not being even top 5. It certainly like it's weird because like what I score it isn't necessarily like how I like. It's the difference between favorite and best. It's like I've loved my time with this game, but I have to point out the flaws that I see.
And the major flaw in this game is the story, where it's like the story is the only word I can like think of, and it's the note that I took down of serviceable. It gets the job done. It gets you from point A to point B with awesome action set piece after awesome action set piece.
There's some anime ass set pieces in this that are really cool,
and they're so well animated, and the art and the colors are so dope. Dude. Like they know what they're doing so well. I cannot believe that like. I know that Ubi's been developing this game for a long time. Like this game,
I might be talking about my answer. This is the Rayman team, I think. It's Origins and Legends.
That
I
makes
think
sense, because the platform in this game is top notch, and they make great games. But like for them to go and make this game, and literally all last year we just consistently like, man, make cheaper, shorter games. Make cheaper, shorter games. For them to come out and be like $50, 25 hours. This game took me as long as it took me to Platinum Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And I had, like, as much fun. Yeah. Like, bang for your buck. Obviously, you're not getting, like, the visuals, the stories, certain gameplay aspects in Spider-Man. You don't need it, though. But, always, you don't, especially when you're putting a $50 price tag on this. This game, I think, we both reviewed it on PS5. Perfect Switch game. Perfect. Yeah,
I was lamenting the fact I was like, this would have been great to have on Switch. I might buy it on Switch and replay it. Like,
so it's so good. This game, if I didn't have Tekken coming down the line, where I'm like, oh man, I'm so stoked for Tekken, dude. Yeah. I'm so stoked. But like, if I didn't have that coming down the line in about a week's time, I would literally be like, do I go for a platinum in this game?
There's a lot left to do and a lot to explore. So much. A lot of like optional chests and areas that I did not touch.
There was 50% completion for what I had,
I was higher
of like the map and everything. Which
of the map?
Not of the map, of like when I like went back into my save to
Yeah.
double check things, it's at 50%, a little bit over like 52, 53.
I wasn't really like I was searching around and looking for stuff like
Same.
constantly. Like I needed it, especially for like upgrades, because you have to find like these hidden chests and stuff to get certain items to then upgrade your character. In certain aspects, some of the time it's just the crystals, and some of the time you need like the ingot or whatever. So like I was constantly looking around everywhere, but I definitely am just scraping the surface.
I straight up could not find certain like upgrade materials, and that's why I like there was a certain point where I'm like, I'm under leveled, but I need to beat this game, and so I'd rather stay in the boss fights than go searching for other things.
Right.
And I would just like there was a moment where I was in a boss fight, and like I was 4 attempts in, and we had this giant health bar, and I got like this deep on a health bar, and I was like, you know how this fight is supposed to go, like you know the moveset, and you are under leveled, and I was like, rock and roll, we're gonna keep pushing though. Like this. I'm
Best
not
thing is you can
search.
like if you, the speedruns for this game are going to be interesting. Like
yeah.
you can definitely like just beeline to the boss, and if you're good, if you're skilled, it's just parry, dodge, and like use your tools that
They
you
give
get
you
through the game.
such good tools in this game.
And
we
the
don't
way
want to
that-
break down mechanics, but like the mechanics that they give you in this game and the way it ramps up is unbelievable.
A lot of the mechanics too, I was like, oh, so like this isn't going to change combat. This is going to change traversal, like clearly, or change how I do puzzles. Like this is what this is for. But then they also use it in the boss fights to then like be a tool in that. And I was like, oh, this is how combat it develops, rather than one of my big flaws with the upgrading of like the swords and everything, not feeling like anything. You feel more powerful because of the tools in the fights or whatever than you do with your swords. Because you're really just tapping square for a lot of it. There's directional stuff, I think, like you can press down and like do like a downward slash or whatever.
I did that all the time.
Yeah, me too. But like other than that, like it's not really like you're not learning combos or anything.
For me, I was learning combos left and right. There was a boss fight in particular where I would go up slash, double blades up, they'd pop in the air, and then I would drop, and then pop them back up, go up again, and just try to keep them in the air. Yeah, gotta juggle.
That's true. That's
gotta
true.
juggle.
I know exactly what you're talking
because
about.
like that was one of those fights where I was like, oh man, my ass kicked. Any damage I could get in a cheesy way, I was taking. And man, oh man, like the amount of times that I would text Connor, I would be like, got him, and then I would say I had literally no health left. The satisfaction I was feeling with some of these boss fights were Elden Ring level of satisfaction.
Dude, there were certain boss fights where I was like, I was like, yes, let's go.
Like,
it was
I'm
really
not
good.
saying that they're as hard as Elden Ring boss fights, but I'm saying that the mechanics that they give you and the way that you feel, and I mentioned this in the short form review, you feel powerful as this character is unbelievable for going being like, hey, this is going to be really hard. It is so extremely fair, and if you fuck up, it is completely on you. And if you succeed, it is completely on you. And it feels so good.
You had so many boss fights, you said, where you had that much, like a sliver of health left.
There was one where, like, there's a red health bar, and I could not see red. I just had it, I was like, it says I'm alive. I disagree. That says something else. That was so fun.
That's funny. But yeah, so that's the bosses and generally the combat for the most part. Let's talk about traversal a little bit, getting from the spaces in between the boss fights, your exploration and everything. I think the platforming in this game is so good in a lot of aspects. The wall jumping, how you have to utilize certain powers to get from point A to point B. Like it was white knuckle at certain points, like getting in between stuff.
Oh my god, dude!
But you feel so good when you nail it or whatever. Like where you're basically in the air doing acrobatics for like 2 minutes straight.
I was about to say, there was a moment in this game where I was like, okay, it's gonna like go up, down, around, like just like, and I'm gonna end up in a place, and it's gonna take me like 30 seconds, and so it would be, you gotta dash, you gotta jump, you gotta dash, whatever, like it just like get on this platform, jump, dash, get on this platform, jump, dash, whatever. And then it just didn't stop. Where I was like, oh, you are still going through this, like, maze of traversal, and when, like, you would fail, and then you'd fail again.
But that's the thing, it's like, that's where the Celeste comparison comes from. It's like, it pops you right back in, and usually it's pretty lenient with how much health it's taking. It's like, just go again, get it right, or whatever, and you always aren't like, this is too hard, I'm going somewhere else and exploring. It was always just like, no, I can definitely do this. It's just like, and the fact that it gets you right back in, it's like, okay, like, let's go. Let's own this.
And there were certain times that, like, it forced you to go through some of those more difficult traversals, and they were the way that this game is like, we're glowing for a large reason, and I think that is this game is like, when it comes to platforming and making you feel powerful in boss fights and the character designs of even the like people that are just around the world and like how terrific
The character
they
designs look awesome.
Awesome.
I just wish they had more.
It is
character.
literally just the story is not there, but everything else is so there in such a extremely impressive way that like I just can't get over $50. Where I'm like, this game, like, what I love from Sony first parties $50 titles with Miles and with Uncharted Lost Legacy is the fact that I'm like, okay, these are like very well developed games. Like, there's a shit ton of budget going in, but they're shorter. This game is like, we're just gonna take away certain like resources. Like, we're not gonna go and like pump in like, it's not a third person open world. It's like a little bit more tighter when it comes to the budget, but like, you can't tell it at all. It's $50, and they did everything so damn well. Right. I cannot believe it.
And it's 25 hours long.
20 to
25 hours long.
Which is
Which, if the argument against those previously mentioned titles with Miles and Lost Legacy is that they're short. It's like, so they're short but beautiful. This is still beautiful, but like not like as visually like stunning.
Intensive.
But like it's long. It's like, it seems reasonable to me.
Yeah, it's totally fair. Like, for me, we've always said we don't need, like, 15 hours for me is like my game time. Right. I love a 15-hour game. 12 hours? Are you kidding me? Sign me up. But like 25 hours is like totally acceptable. I'm looking forward to play all of it. If you keep me engaged, this game kept me engaged the entire way. This will be a game that will be mentioned on a lot of our podcasts when we just throw out game of the year list. Oh yeah, this is going to be on there. This is going to be this.
I hope it doesn't get lost. I hope it doesn't get lost because it's so early.
I mean, Hi-Fi Rush was a similar beat where it was January early.
I feel like it doesn't happen as much as people say it does with the recency bias stuff. Yeah. Let's jump into the puzzles. I want to hear what you think about the puzzles in this game. I thought, for the most part, they made me feel really smart. And I'm a big dummy. So I was like, I thought they were all really satisfying. I only got hung up a couple times, and even then it was like, there was one that I was like really frustrated with, that I was like, there's something wrong here, or I'm looking at this wrong, and eventually I figured it out. But for the most part, it made me feel smart. It made me feel satisfied, and they were sprinkled out well enough that it wasn't, the challenges weren't all just boss fights or like major enemies. There was also the puzzle aspect. Yeah,
the way that this game keeps you engaged, from just traversal to just in-world enemies into puzzles into boss fights, like the puzzle aspect especially was brilliant, where it was a nice change of pace, being like, okay, you're not pressing square a whole bunch, like you're able to not be like holding down movement, but actually take a moment and think, and to not, like, once again, when you're reviewing a game like this and you don't have the internet accessible, you got to figure it out. Like, you can't just not figure it out. I was having some difficulty finding certain locations and doing certain puzzles, and it, like, Connor's like, just put more time into it. Like, you're gonna figure it out in the way that the game like does make you figure it out with the tool set that it gives you.
And if you don't have the tool, it's always really obvious that you don't have the correct tool for the job at that point.
And like they do a great way of being like, no, like, you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this, and then like talking to you about certain moments of like, dude, I have not figured this out yet. You're ahead of me, and then you would just say like, remember this, or like, remember this mechanic. Remember that you have this in your tool belt. And got it. Once again, this game, when you make a mistake, it is never on the game. It is always on the player, and learning whether it's the boss fight or the puzzles or the correct way to traverse everything. This game, I think, is way more punishing than I expected. Of like, every single thing is on you, but like, even some of the way the world's set up, even some of the way the puzzles are set up, it's not your Uncharted puzzle where it's like, okay, like, you need to move this in a way and just copy a photo, and like, it's really simple. It is, no, you actually have to think and use the tools that you have retained for the past 5, 10, 15 hours and get her done. And like, those moments are just as satisfying as boss battles. Yeah, I think you said that very well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've kind of touched on the visuals for the most part. Do you have anything else you want to say on the visual perspective? Not necessarily visuals. The music is something that we haven't touched on. The music is really good.
The music's so good.
But it feels like it only really comes up when it needs to, and I wish it was a little bit more impactful. But like when those emotional moments hit or whatever, it's like, oh yeah.
I would say that the reason the story goes from like just like whatever to like serviceable and like you understand the moments very well. The music drives certain emotional beats very well. Where it's like you should be feeling something, and the music does make you feel something. Where it's like, okay, yeah, like I get like why I should care about this. I just, like you said, the characters aren't like crazy interesting and well developed. The music helps drive it, and then like I literally like the main theme of this song in this game crushes.
Yeah,
crushes. Where you're like, oh yeah, this is dope. Like this is exactly what I want. I've said dope like 7 times, and I just want to let you guys know this game's dope. Like this game is so good, but the main theme is. It's really terrific when it delivers the emotional punch that you need it to. Just the art experience is like, once again, $50 freaking dollars. I can't believe this. If you, I want to say this, if you're wondering, hey, $70 Tekken, $70 like shorter experience, like what or $50 this and you can buy a couple case of White Claw with it and like have a good time. Like, I'm probably choosing this. Like, this is just like such an easy purchase to make.
And I hope it does well because I want another one of these really badly.
Oh yeah.
And I want Ubisoft and major publishers to see that you can make a shorter, tighter experience or something that isn't as big budget and make it like this, and people will support it. And I want more of these. It really was an excellent experience, and I hope we get more. And the thing that I really do keep coming back to is that we're all clamoring for Hollow Knight Silk Song. We all want it. Hopefully, it's coming soon. But like, this is your appetizer. If you really need something to hold you off and keep you satisfied, this is a top notch Metroidvania. Really good, really great game.
I'm excited to see whenever Hollow Knight does come out. If Hollow Knight dropped like tomorrow, I would be like, I'm excited, but like I'm a little Metroidvania out. But that's not to say
that's
that,
funny.
Like,
I'm like in the opposite.
Oh,
right
you're
like,
ready
I want
to
to get back into
one?
another Metroidvania.
For me, it's like the reason I am though is because I got everything I could want from this game, and like I said, though, if I had more time on my hands to not have to be picking up other games, I would immediately be hopping into collecting certain things and doing some of these boss fights and trying to, like, perfectly do the first boss fight or something like that. Like, this game
I wonder if it's an optional boss or anything. There's got to be
something.
Yeah, I hope there is. I'm curious to see what people find.
Side quests? Did you explore any side quests?
Oh, I did some of the side quests. They're not great. I mean, they're fine. If I stumbled upon something, like I would be like, yeah, like I'm gonna kill this thing or
retrieve this thing. Yeah,
go get it. Like, but I wasn't like really going out of my way to do the side quests. They're cool and additive, definitely. And if you're gonna go for the platinum, like it's nice that it's there.
This is gotta be such a good fucking platinum. I'm just like experience the world, do these things. Like I haven't checked the trophy list, so don't quote me on it.
I checked and I was before as I was getting deeper into the game. Like I would say I was 75% of the way done. I think I had 17% of the trophies.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
So I imagine probably by the end I was at like 30 or something.
A lot of collecting. I would assume needs to be done in that world, but because just being in the world is so much fun. I bet the guides are going to be really interesting. Just like with the whole map and just being like this is there or whatever, and just go do all these things. It would probably. Be satisfying. You open up the map and there's that left corner of like just shit that's in the area, and I would be like 1 out of 16. I'm like, oh fuck.
I didn't even realize that.
Oh, you didn't notice that? I think I'm pretty sure if you went around the map, it showed you that I was missing a lot of stuff, and you don't need to do a collectathon, which is great.
But you were exploring and everything.
Oh yeah, the entire map. I believe I went to literally every edge of the map.
Really?
Yeah, I think that
there was whole areas that I didn't.
Oh
touch.
Yeah, the reason was I was like, is this in this direction? I went to a lot of places I didn't have to go to. Is what I'm trying to say. Once again, I am not great at this game, and for me to not be as great as that, like for it to be as bad as I was, and for me to have this much fun, just shows that this game's awesome. This game's so good.
All right. Do we want to
draft it
into the draft?
Oh, man. Oh, with that being said, so I was up till 4 a.m. last night, and then I had to wake up at 10
to finish this game.
And what a trip. This has been... So I was up till 1, and then I got a good night rest on Thursday. Then I was up till 3 Friday, up till 4 Saturday. Yeah. So I've been... I've been loving life, living like Larry, and
I'm ready to go. You ready?
yes.
You have yours written down, you said?
Yep.
Wow, Nick did his homework.
It's not that I did my homework. I just like to grip and rip it sometimes, and Connor doesn't like that.
This is going to be really tough because my opinions are not what I'm going to draft at all.
You're just going for the fans?
For the fans, yeah. I think
take Pokemon. First pick. You won't. Am I first?
Yes.
Do I intro it then? I believe that's the case.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are drafting Nintendo Switch games. We're finally doing it. I have the first pick today. I don't want the first pick at all. But I'm going to try to play a little bit of defense if I can. Connor's looking at me with a face. I'm actually switching on my plan right now. I'm going to pick Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Tears of the Kingdom. A lot of people have said this game is just better Breath of the Wild. And at the end of the day, it is. Let's just admit it. Of course, there's nostalgia aspects, but it's a better game, and it's the best the Switch has to offer. The fact that this game is able to run on the Nintendo Switch is a marvel of engineering that I do not understand. So, great job, Nintendo, and Tears of the Kingdom, first pick overall. Connor gets the best 1-2 punch in the world, so just take it. Just take it.
Is the best 1-2 punch Breath of the Wild and Odyssey?
Yes.
Yeah. With my number one pick, I'm going to go The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. You have to do it, it feels like. Well, many people will say that Tears is the better game. I think overall, objectively speaking, sure. But Breath of the Wild paved the way for Tears of the Kingdom. There will never be an experience quite like stepping into Breath of the Wild for the first time and not having that direction. It totally blew up what I thought open world games were, which was this big checkboxy side quest, collectathon type deal. This was just immersive, go out into the world, explore, do your main quest, do your shrines, pick up your new weapon, do the towers. Like, it kept me enticed the entire time. Love Breath of the Wild. Number 2 pick, Mario Odyssey. You have to go Mario Odyssey. I love Mario Odyssey. It is a fantastic 3D platformer. I love all the different levels. They have so much variety. Dripping with charm. Mario Wonder with my second pick.
I'm going to go with probably my most played game ever with its next pick. I'm doing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Perfect game. This game is perfect. This is a perfect video game. Endless replayability. So much fun to play with your friends. It's the best Mario Kart of all time. 96 races. That is an unbelievable amount of content for a game that came out almost a decade ago. I love this game to this day. I will be playing it until the new one. I honestly don't think we need a new one. I will never forget the day that somebody predicted, hey, there's going to be DLC for this game. And I was like, they'll never do DLC. It's been so long. And then they did DLC, and it's awesome. Like,
it's 48 races.
It's 48
awesome.
races. I'm so amazed at this game. I love this game, and it pairs well with Tears of the Kingdom. I have an uphill battle, it feels like, with your first 2 picks. Like,
yeah.
It's almost impossible to come back from Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, 2 of the greatest games of all time. But I'm going to try my best to come in with one of the greatest games of all time, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah,
I have to pick it here, and not just because I have to, it's because I want to. The unlocking all the characters in the start of this game is one of the most fun experiences in all of gaming. Comes out in December. I'll never forget being with my high school buddies, grabbing some Sprite cranberries, and having a great time. One of the most fun games of all time. I absolutely adore this video game. And Connor, everybody's here. It also delivered one of the greatest video game trailers of all time from that E3 press conference. I adore it. I love it. And I cannot wait to play some more. Connor, now name a game that you haven't played in the past, 5 years. Because that's what you're going to have to do. I just got the most replayable games of all time that you picked up a week ago.
That's
now
true.
Choose a game that you haven't played in years.
Yeah, you're totally right there, honestly.
Yep. I got to make an argument because I feel like I'm behind right now in a major way.
This is tough. I really don't know. If I wanted to pick Mario Kart 8 over Odyssey.
Yep.
But I couldn't do it. Yep. I have to play the board correctly.
Yep.
With my third pick, I'm going to go with the sleeper here. I'm going to go with Fire Emblem Three Houses. I feel like this game doesn't get talked about enough, especially when it comes to bang for your buck. The 3 different storylines are all varied enough and different that you can really play this game for hundreds of hours if you wanted to. It brings back the classic permadeath if you want it on, but if you want an easier experience, you can turn that off and just enjoy the story and enjoy the combat as is. I think it's an excellent strategy game. Like it's fantastic. Nothing quite like it on Nintendo Switch. Fire Emblem deserves more respect at my number 3 pick.
By the way, I thought that was going to be your pick, and it's a great pick. I just want to throw that out there. Great pick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, I just dogged on you. I didn't want to just not. That's probably the right pick. It's not my next one up. I have 2 games higher than it, but it's on my board.
So my number 4 pick, gotta play the board. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Not my cup of tea for Animal Crossing. I think New Leaf is quite a bit better. I think it gets a little bit lost in the weeds with the things that it adds. That fucking Easter event threw me off so much. I hated it so much, but for the people who love it, they love it. Animal Crossing New Horizons, a fantastic sequel for some. So that's my 4th pick.
I just wanted to make sure I got this correct. With my next pick, I'm choosing Mario Party Superstars. The good remake one, not the Super Mario Party bullshit game that sucks, okay? I want the best, most definitive experience on the Switch of Mario Party with my friends. It's a game that gets broken out all the time, whether it's on stream or just having a good time with some friends, having a few drinks, playing some mini games. It's a blast. I adore this game, and this is one of those few moments Nintendo just did what everyone asked them to do. Give us classic maps, give us classic mini games, give us the goods, and they delivered with my 4th pick. Oh geez, and with my last pick, by the way, it's you got a perfect board in my opinion.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing was my number 4 game, by the way. But I didn't. I had to go with Deluxe and Smash just off of the caveat of like.
I didn't even want to draft it.
These are games that like I play all the time compared to. It's the only argument I can make against Breath of the Wild and Odyssey because I once again I think we're in a draft that is. Definitively you have the 2 of the best 3 games in a tier of their own, and then we got into the weeds. But Mario Kart 8, come on, you ever play that one? All right. With my last pick, I'm going to pick Metroid Dread, one of the best Metroidvania games of all time. Great music, great art style, and one of the most shocking reveals of all time for a game that a lot of people expected to come out 2 decades prior.
Metroid's back, baby.
Metroid back.
Now give me Metroid Prime 4. With my last pick, I'm going to go outside the box and I'm going to draft a little indie called Celeste. Celeste is an immaculate platformer, just perfect when it comes to that aspect. And then when it comes to the story and the emotional impact of it, it is super affecting and stuck with me for weeks, months, years after playing it. I think Celeste is a excellent package. I cannot wait to see what the studio does next with Earthblade. Give it to me. Celeste with the final pick.
That's a game that we have not discussed enough with 2024 games. Like that game could just be we have Supergiant and Earthblade, like Supergiant's next game, and I forget the Celeste developer's name off the top of my head.
I don't know it off the top of my head.
Yeah, so Hades 2 and Earthblade, it's going to be terrific. Like, it's going to be a good year for indies. Last thing I want to mention, last thing I want to discuss before you close it out. I know you're eager to close this bad boy out. Mm-hmm. I just want to throw out a tagline. Connor, right now, we are 3 days before the developer _ direct. Mm-hmm. Is Indiana Jones third or first person?
Third person.
I'm sticking with first person.
No way. Is there any rumors on this?
Nope.
Nothing?
It is completely... It literally...
Just so we have some sort of conflict here going on.
Yeah, no. I just want, like, we're going to be reacting to it. That's also something to say. We're going to be reacting to it live. Our reactions will post on YouTube for most likely every single individual game will get posted.
What about TikTok?
Some of them will go on TikTok.
Yeah,
I assume indie would go on TikTok.
We should get this talked about.
Yeah, indie definitely will get posted on TikTok. Especially, correction, if it looks good. If it looks awful, then it still might go on TikTok as this indie game looks bad. But especially in games, they don't miss.
Yeah, they don't miss. All right, that was the casual gaming conversation. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us these last few months. It's been amazing, and this was a super fun episode to shoot. That's your Prince of Persia, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown review, as well as a draft of Nintendo Switch games and some good hot takes there. It felt like a lengthy episode, but I'm honestly not sure. These fly by so fast that I don't really know even how long we've been shooting for.
We did discuss being spoiler free. How deep are we able to get into this? It might be a 20-minute conversation. I'm pretty sure we talked for at least 30 minutes on the in-depth review aspect of it. I could be completely wrong. This podcast could have been 45 minutes. I have not gotten enough sleep the past few days, if I'm being honest.
Casual gaming conversation, move into Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The stream schedule is Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10, co_op64 on Twitch.
And importantly, we have so much bonus content throughout the next few months. Literally for the next, I believe, through February, every single weekend we have a piece of bonus content.
This upcoming Saturday, you're streaming the roguelike?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, Friday I'm streaming the roguelike.
Friday you're streaming the roguelike.
And then Saturday is the Doug Challenge.
Making me with that.
Well, because
I thought it was Saturday, Sunday.
No, we're shooting the Doug on a Saturday, dude. We're going to be full of just fast food grossness. How are you feeling about that?
I'm gonna feel awful. I know that because I'm not a big eater. I can eat, but I'm not gluttonous.
Here's the thing.
By any means.
My secret weapon in this is something that's not healthy at all. Soda. We're gonna get a lot of sodas.
I was thinking about that
in the car.
What if I have to pee?
You just go into the restaurant real
quick.
You
can?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you don't have to. We're not.
I thought we were locked. You can't leave the car until you're done.
You can
what
leave
if what if I puke? But that feels like that ruins the.
You can't puke. The rules aren't say you can't.
See,
puke.
that's the problem. But going to the bathroom, I could play it off.
Oh,
I don't want to do that.
Well, no,
we'll just be honest. Yeah,
okay, we gotta be honest. And if we this is about having fun.
It's gonna be great when Brady goes in the bathroom and he comes back and he's I threw up.
No, I think a couple things are gonna happen. First and foremost, we're getting through 10 restaurants.
I don't think so.
We're getting through 10. Secondly, I'm throwing back all the Skyline. No matter what, if we get 10 cheese conies coming our way, I will slug 10 cheese conies.
We better. It's really just a matter of if one of these places hits really aggressively with the stuff, we're fucked.
No, you just got to push through. You just got to.
But that's when we're fucked.
Yeah.
How long do we have? 5 hours?
No, you got the day.
Oh my goodness.
So we're gonna start at 11ish. We're gonna grab that Starbucks, that Dunkin'. We're gonna go Starbucks for drink, just because we don't want to get hit with food from Dunkin'.
Yeah, nobody goes to Starbucks for food.
I mean, have you ever had that bread, that banana bread that they do, or that cinnamon bread?
I've had their cheese Danish. And I like that.
Oh, that's good. And they do have some good croissants. Anyways,
croissant.
It's gonna be a great time. We're gonna be live streaming it on Saturday when we'll give a start time. In the Discord and everything. Also, we have a Discord. There's going to be a comment below.
Why don't you just put it in the description?
Because they will not allow it.
Okay.
You cannot post a video with the link in the description for our channel as right now. We're getting that approved, though, on YouTube's end. It is a blast. We're having a great time. Yeah. We'll announce our schedules in there. And thank you guys so much. But it's going to be awesome. The Dojo Challenge is going to be so good. And then literally every single weekend through all the way till February, we have some sort of bonus content happening on a Friday or a Saturday.
All the way through February.
Through February, and then every now and then we get a weekend off, which is nice.
It was funny. I was talking to Laura last night, and she was like, I was showing her the schedule. She's like, are you off May 15th? That's when Harley is graduating. And we go through the schedule, and it's stuff. One break. Stuff. The one break is May 15th.
All right. I'll make sure not to move anything there. It's... The schedule is ever flowing of content.
I mean, I'm not on all of it, so it doesn't
that's the nice part of it. The bonus content is a little bit spread out, and we will be throughout this year. I assume post E3 season, we're all someone's taking a week off here, someone's taking a week off here. Yeah. We need to take some time. It's been a blast though to obviously do all this and stream every single. It feels like we stream almost every day at this point, even though we.
But I miss it when I'm not doing it.
I know, it's a blast. All right. Sorry for the tangent at the end of the pod.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Peace out.